Stephen has a question. Stephen says, "Hi Raf, just wondering about heart rate in relation to weight. When running, I notice I'm sitting at 170 beats per minute, others at similar pace at 155 beats per minute. Is heart rate more closely related to lung capacity or weight?" Well, Stephen, that is a great question. And so basically, when you run or do any other form of aerobic exercise, your muscles require more oxygen to burn more glucose to produce more energy. And so the factors involved in getting more oxygen to your muscles are your breathing needs to increase, so you need to take in more air. You need to store that, transfer the oxygen from the air into your blood, into the hemoglobin in your blood, and you need to store that oxygen in the hemoglobin. And then you need to pump that blood around your body to your cells with your heart, and get it there fast enough so you get enough oxygen delivered in a short space of time for those muscles. And then you need to the muscles need to be able to absorb the oxygen and use it to burn carbohydrate and break down glycogen and release energy in that process. So all of those steps, each one of them is critical, and they're all interrelated. So, for example, if you have for some reason, a reduced capacity to, a reduced lung capacity, well, you get less air in per minute. So therefore, you can compensate though by increasing other aspects. So your heart could beat faster to pump the air that is in your system around quicker and get more of it to your cells more quickly. Or if you have for some reason a reduced stroke volume, so your heart is, it from its full state to its contracted state, the amount of blood that it pumps, each pump is less than average. Well, you can pump your heart faster to compensate for that. If you have reduced circulatory system volume, blood volume, circulating blood volume is the phrase I'm looking for. So less blood, basically. If you're dehydrated, you have less blood, your heart has to pump harder and you will breathe more to oxygenate the blood that you do have and get it around to your system. So there are multiple other factors involved as well. If you had low hemoglobin because you're iron deficient, you could compensate by breathing more heavily and pumping your heart harder. So all of those things are, multiple kind of overlapping systems that are kind of semi-redundant that enable you to transport oxygen to your cells fast enough that your muscles can use it to contract. And in each of us, we all have some different combination of those factors. So, someone might have a slightly bigger heart, like a bigger stroke volume, but less capacity for the heart to beat fast. Someone else might have a greater lung capacity, but a smaller heart maximum heart rate. So the heart rate itself is not really an indicator of anything in particular. And probably the best measure for you or for all of us, unless you're in an exercise science lab, probably the best measure is rating of perceived exertion, or RPE. So basically on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you're lying on the couch watching Netflix, and 10 being you are sprinting up a sand dune in the Sahara with a tyre tied around your waist. 10 is your maximum exertion where you are like totally maxed out. Your RPE, your subjective experience of how hard you're working, is has been shown by quite a bit of research to be a very reliable indicator and pretty accurate indicator of how hard your whole system is working. So your heart rate might be much higher than the people who are running with you at the same speed, but your whole system as a whole might be working no harder than their system. You know, it might just be that when in balance, you have a higher maximum heart rate because they have a higher something else or a lower something else, and that's just the way that your system works. Like I know myself, when I'm running, if I'm cruising along, like if I'm at 170 BPM, I'm just about to have a heart attack. Like my heart can't go that fast. My heart can get to like 165, 168. That is a flat out sprint for me. Whereas I can cruise all day on 145 running at like 13.5 kilometres per hour. But that doesn't mean I've got like 40 beats or 50 beats per minute in reserve. It's like, so it may just be that you've got this really awesome attribute of a higher maximum heart rate, and that your cruising velocity is 170 beats per minute and you can get up to 200 beats per minute. Which is awesome. So I wouldn't be at all concerned about it. And I would just suggest use your RPE, your rating of perceived exertion, from 1 to 10 as a really good guide, and ask your friend who's running at 155 beats per minute what their RPE is. And, you know, that's an indicator of how hard your system's working. And that's probably an indicator, that's a really good indicator, probably the best indicator available of how hard you're working relative to your current fitness level. So that'll be the RPE. There's a really strong relationship between RPE at a given pace and VO2 max. So, yeah, I hope that helps. Don't bother about heart rate too much compared to other people. It is a good measure within your own effort. Like, you know, like at 170, how hard that is for you, 140, how hard that is for you, etc. But don't really compare it to others. Hope that helps.